Hi, I'm making this video to talk about homemade face masks. There's a lot of information out there, and we are trying to consider making homemade face masks for my workplace. The information that's out there right now is for people to consider making homemade face masks for healthcare professionals. And so we're talking about people who work in nursing homes or people who work in hospitals. So the criteria for them is a little bit different than what I want us to consider for our workplace. The criteria for them, for healthcare professionals, is to be protected and to protect others from themselves. So the requirements and the criteria for their face masks I've found is to be pretty stringent. They have an outer and then a liner, which creates pocket to then add a filter. So with higher protection equals more discomfort for the person wearing it. When you remove some of these layers and you make the mask more comfortable, it's less protective. So we've got to consider our efforts here. Do we want to put in a lot of effort to make a highly protected mask if people are going to become uncomfortable and then not wear them? Or do we want to make a mask that people are more comfortable in, but we cannot guarantee that they are being protected? I think with a more comfortable mask, the only thing that we can guarantee is that we are protecting others from ourselves. So let's get that straight. Moving on to talk about mask styles. So there are 3 different styles I'm going to talk about. The first one I'm going to talk about is the pleated style. The second one I'm going to talk about is the Olsen style. And the third one I'm going to talk about, I call the cinched side style. So there are also other things to consider other than the styles of masks. There is the topic of getting the mask to stay on your head. So there are different styles of fastening a mask to its user. And then another thing to consider is fabric choice. So let's talk about fastening the mask. I have different versions of mask fastening done in the pleated style. This is the pleated style mask. You can see that it is basically just a square it's just a rectangle, and you pleated the sides to create this volume in front. So with this mask, you've got 4 braided cords that don't have any stretch to them placed at the corners. This is a popular application that I found. So what a person needs to do is they need to tie it first around the back of their neck. This is not as quick as some of the others. I'm going to get my glasses out of the way. Then you pull the mask up and you tighten it along your nose. There's a wire here. Then you're going to tie the mask at the top of your head. Since these cords don't have any stretch to them, the mask fits loosely. I don't hate this mask. It's airy, whereas I can breathe freely and I don't feel really constricted. That's because these ties don't have stretch to them, so I'm not tying it on tight. I'm just tying it on to where it fits. So air is escaping out the sides, which makes it more comfortable for me, less protective. And air is also coming out down here. More comfortable for me, less protective. That's going to be the trend with all these masks that you're going to hear me talk about. So, but with the air escaping, it fogs up my glasses, and then I can't see. That's been a big problem with a lot of these masks, is they tend to fog up your glasses and you can't see. And how are you going to work if you can't see? And you're going to be taking on and off your safety glasses and therefore contaminating your hands with all of the vapor that's around your face that you're trying to reduce, right? We're trying to touch our faces less. So with the fogging up, and this is really formed around right here, but it's just this tie style. It creates a lot of room for air to escape. So that means fogged up glasses and less protection, more face touching, which is not good. So I'm going to take this one off and demonstrate the next one. The next one that you see commonly online is elastic around the back of the ears. There's one benefit to that. This is really quick to put on. Ta-da, I'm done. But fit issues, okay? So if you are a home sewer if you are a home sewer, you can make this fit perfectly. I would basically make a smaller band that fits tightly around my face, and I can custom make it for myself, and then it's a nice mask to have. But when we are talking about making a bunch of masks for our site, this is just not universal enough. This is too big on me. And everybody's going to have a different size head, different shaped face, and they're going to need some options, right? This is not a good one. Plus, elastic is very hard to come by right now, almost impossible, especially at the quantities that we need. So let's rule out elastic behind the ears. Another thing to note, I get people, I've been talking to a lot of people about masks that they're wearing at their workplace, and this hurts the back of people's ears after a while, and they do not like this one. This is unfortunate because there is a lot of people online making these for healthcare professionals, and it's just not really a good application for many different reasons that I had already just mentioned. So moving on to, I've got a pleated mask here made with what Lori and I think is the best fastening method. That is a loop down below and open ties up at top. And this is just one continuous loop. So I've got a pleated mask here that I made. You put it around the back of your neck, you cinch it up, you put the mask on, you get it fitted. Oops, I have it on backwards. Here we go. Cinch it in place, you put it on, you tighten it, and you tie it in a bow. This is the best method of fastening because you can get a custom fit, and we're only using one band, and we can get everybody fitted this way. All different sizes of heads and face shapes. So this is the pleated one on me. It's tight, and I feel very protected. There's no air escaping. Everything's fitting very well. But with more tightness and protection equals a hotter face mask and more discomfort. I don't really feel like I want to wear this for a long time. But this is double ply, meaning there's an outer and a liner, and that is creating more protection but more discomfort. I would like this mask. I would really like this mask if it was just one single layer of cotton, I think. I'm going to make that tonight and test it out for sure. The next pleated mask is just a different type of pleating, and I just tried it out because why not? It was available online, and I thought it was kind of a fun one. But it's just an inverted box pleat. There's just one pleat right there. So let me put it on for you. I just thought this was fun because you pull the pleat down and it looks like a big smile. But with this mask comes lots of adjusting to get it fitting your face. I do find that the fit is really tight down below here, and it's kind of tight along my nose. It makes me want to fiddle with the mask a lot, and I think we don't want to be promoting that, right? Because we don't want to be touching our face. As soon as you start fiddling with your mask, then you have to go and IPA your hands, your gloved hands. You gotta wipe them down with an IPA wipe to disinfect, because your hands are contaminated once you start touching with your face. So I ruled this mask out, but I'm glad I tried it. It was kind of fun. We're moving on to the Olsen style now. So the Olsen style, at first it was mine and Lori's favorite, but now we find that it is a little too tight and protective and hard to work in. It gets really hot. But this one is sculpted and patterned to fit a face more like a garment, where the other ones are rectangles that pleat. This is actually more like a bra for your face. So you put it on, you've got a liner fabric, you've got an outer fabric, cinch it up. This is a cotton weave. All of these are cotton weave that I've talked about so far. Form it along the nose. It sculpts the face very nicely. It's sculpted around your eyes. It's sculpted around your neck. That way no pleats and no gathering was needed to make this mask. I'm going to put my glasses on and do the fog test. I wore this mask for a couple of hours yesterday while I was doing chores, and it got really hot. I have to admit, it got really hot. I didn't want to wear it for more than a couple of hours. I wanted to take it off and get a drink of water. I wanted to blow my nose. These are all challenges that we're going to face with all masks. I think it could be a little bit more comfortable if we went down to single ply, if we just went to one layer of fabric covering our face. My glasses are fogging up, so I'm going to take them off so I can see. As you can see, it's very sculpted and fitted. You can see my mouth actually moving when I'm talking. There's not, in my opinion, there's not enough room and space right here for everybody to be comfortable. Say a person has a bigger face than mine, we would need a variation of sizes of this mask. Because it is cotton weave, it's not stretching, so fit is going to be something that we have to talk about. We would have to make 3 sizes. This is small, medium, and large when we're dealing with woven cotton. And we can get away from that if we decide to use jersey knit. So I'm going to take this one off and put on the Olsen mask that I made in jersey knit. Jersey knit is t-shirt material. It comes with its own challenges creating though. It comes with its own challenges when we talk about construction, sewing the face masks together, because it requires a chain stitch rather than just a straight single stitch that you see with woven fabrics. Jersey knits require a chain stitch. I have an example here. I have a t-shirt, and I'm wondering if you can see, if you turn on the inside of all of your t-shirts, you see this like chain. That is a different machine. That is not a typical home sewing machine that you find that home sewers have. They have just a regular straight stitch type machine. The machine to do this chain stitch with jersey knit fabric is called a overlock or a serger, and it's not a common one that people own. I don't own one. I wish I did. But my home sewing machine does an imitation overlock stitch. And I'm not sure if you can see it here, but my home sewing machine did that, and it imitated it pretty well, but it just takes twice as long because it wasn't meant to do that. Here is the Olsen mask in a jersey knit. This one, we wouldn't have to do too many size variations because the benefit of a knit fabric is that it stretches, and so you have a little bit more comfort and a little bit more wiggle room for fit. You'd probably just need like a small and a large in this one. But this is pretty well fitted onto my face. I'm feeling hot already. This is 2-ply. I think that this mask, again, could be successful if I went down to just 1 layer of fabric instead of 2. But I would need to test that out. It's just a hypothesis at the moment that 1 fabric in any of these masks would be more comfortable than 2 layers. Getting hot. Our final mask that I'm going to talk about was the one that I liked a little bit the most. This one is the cinched side seam. It's just a rectangle. and I call it cinched side seam because it does the same thing as the pleated, except for this is less work to produce. The pleated takes time doing the pleats manually. This one, it's just, you get the pleat action from cinching the sides up. So cinching the sides up creates all of the looseness that you see. You see all this looseness right here up front. It gives me room to breathe. It makes it a little bit more comfortable, but yet everything around here is tight. So I think this mask has the benefit of having more space up front, which gives more comfort. And it has the protection of a tight fit around these other areas where the other masks lost protection, right? Because they weren't fitting as well. This one fits very well. And I'm getting hot in this already because I'm already warm from trying out the other masks. But this one seemed to be the one that I could hang out and work it in longer. I went out and did yard work in this mask and it felt comfortable. But that might have been because I was breathing in cold outdoor air. I was able to pull weeds and do a little bit of light yard work in this mask, and I did that for 45 minutes and I was fine. I would like to try this mask out in a jersey knit single layer and see if that improves comfort. So some things I want people to consider in terms of protocol with the masks is we are on allergy season right now. And I know I'm feeling it. My nose is running and it makes me want to touch my face because my nose is running. So I think what people are going to be susceptible to, well, they're wearing these masks and it's allergy season and their nose is running. It's like we're wearing a hanky. In the fab, I imagine that some people, their nose is going to start to run and they're going to want to do that just to like relieve themselves, really. And so at that point, I think what should be a protocol is if your nose starts to run and you do this, you itch your nose, you dab it off a little bit, you then need to go to an IPA, you need to go to a POU and grab an IPA and disinfect your hands anytime that you touch your face, hands down. Or what else they might want to do is they're going to want to go blow their nose with a clean room wipe in the gowning room. So at that point, they're going to take off their mask, right? And they're going to wipe their nose off, and then they're going to IPA their hands. And then this mask comes down. And what I imagine is people's concern with when you take off your mask, all of this right now is contaminated with your germs, right? And you're opening it up, and maybe then the area right here around you is now contaminated with your germs. So I think that if it's not already the protocol, we need to be changing out our gowns at least once a shift. And if we want to increase that, that would be up to folks. But consider that I don't think that your mask should be worn like this in the break room. I think that when we are gearing up to not wear our mask for a period of time, we need to have a plastic Ziploc bag with us so we can take off our mask, put it in our Ziploc bag, eat out in the break room, and at that point, when you decide that you want to put your mask back on, you need to go to the bathroom, put on your mask, wash your hands, and then commit to wearing your mask. I don't think that it should be protocol to sit out in the break room with your mask hanging down like this. It is easier, but this is exposing what we're trying to protect everybody from, right? So I think that along with face masks, we need to have a protocol regarding having a plastic baggie on you at all times, maybe in your pocket, in your purse, in your gowning room hanger, so that you're not walking into the bathroom with your mask like this. You take it off, you put it in your plastic baggie, you disinfect your hands, then you go to the bathroom. So these are These are all things that need to be considered when considering masks. In the long run, are we creating more problems by applying mask protocols that may not be followed? Something for everybody to consider. All right. I think that's about it that I want to talk about right now. Thank you for your attention. Bye.